I don't think there'd be a more appropriate time to review a movie called Hunger, as my stomach is a rumbling. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Stale movie review. Today I'm going to be talking about the movie Hunger, directed by Stephen, I hate these last names, Stephen Hentage. Put it right here. The movie is about a group of five or six, small group of people that are captured. Oh God, I'm hungry and I'm tired. This small group of people that are captured by a scientist, doctor, who is conducting an experiment, I guess, on the effects of hunger on people. Don't really know why you have to conduct that experiment. Like, you know, I think you already know the answer to that question. So the five are all just mysteriously wake up in this sort of like cave-like area. It's got like 2 or 3 rooms or whatever. One of the rooms is at like the bottom of a well, so you like, they can see the outside pretty much, or they know where the outside is. But in that place in that room is a barrel of like, is like 4 or 5 barrels of clean water. And they also have a timer in one of the rooms that is counting down 30 days or whatever. So the, like, you know, the experiment is lasting like a month to see how long they can last without food, or see what happens to them when they're deprived of food for that long. Obviously they're not deprived of the water, because they would die in about, what is it, like less than a week, I think you would die without water. So that would be a short experiment. Normally I feel like I grade most movies on the so-so side, where it's like not terrible but not bad. And this one wasn't bad, but it wasn't so-so either. I think it's somewhere in between like so-so and shitty. There's a goof in there that's particularly unsettling and just wasn't well thought out, which I'll talk about. But I feel like I've been saying this a lot about horror movies, and I don't know if I'm just reading into it this way, or, you know, or maybe just a lot of horror movies have been using this, but I feel like there are small little like feminist undertones in there. I feel like there are in most horror movies anyway, even though some people would believe that horror movies are a little bit sexist or misogynistic. I feel like they're a little more empowering for women anyway. You have that whole concept of the final girl and everything, which remains true in this movie as well. There's 2 females and 2 females and 3 males locked up in this experiment. And the females seem to be dominating, really. Like, we have our main character, Jordan, who is kind of like plays our final girl, really. And to guys know, this movie came out in 2009, so there's no spoiler warnings here. You've had plenty of time. Had about 6 years to watch this. No spoilers here. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Stale movie reviews, I'm generally not going to put up a spoiler warning. Maybe if it's only like a year old, I'll put it up, but any more than a year old, and we're not worried about spoilers here. Jordan is kind of like our final girl. She's the one who, she kind of sees into the experiment. She kind of sees through the experiment. We get a few flashbacks of the doctor, which are highly predictable. It opens with him as a young boy, or we understand is like, we understand later is him as a young boy in a car accident with his mother. And I already predicted, as soon as I saw it, I was like, he ate his mother. Like, that's the whole point of this. He ate his mother, which of course is revealed later on that they were stuck in the car for a couple of days, I think. Or I can't remember how long, because they like crashed at the bottom of a ravine. They were stuck in there for quite a while, and he ate his mom. Or ate part of his mom anyway, to stay alive, I guess. But Jordan, not knowing this, Jordan kind of sees through the experiment, and she understands that it's not really just an experiment. He wants to see them like break down and start eating each other, which of course is what happens. You know, they pick off the weaker ones. One of the characters, Grant, find out he has like some sort of like heart problem or whatever, so he wasn't gonna last anyway without food or medication. So they kill him, much to Jordan's protesting. She's trying to reason with them and saying like, this is what he wants us to do. And you don't win by lasting the 30 days. You win by, you know, not giving him what he wants. And then the other female locked in there, Anna, kind of plays off as being very weak and needy, and she kind of is dragging along the other two males, Luke and Alex, on a string with her sexuality. Mostly Luke. She's manipulating him with her vagina, pretty much. And she gets him to do stuff like kill the other people down there and things like that to help feed her as well, but she doesn't have to really get her hands that dirty, you know? So, and Jordan kind of falls for this. Like, she thinks Anna is kind of weak and scared, and then when Anna kind of reveals to her, she's pretty much got it figured out. You're just like, okay. I kind of dug that. I was like, all right, I like that little twist, you know, like the females in this movie are stronger than you would believe, that sort of thing. I dug that. That was good. Other than that, there was like some continuity errors. Like the men are locked up. It's like what did the scientist pick the 3 men in the world that couldn't grow beards after 30 days? Like, especially Luke and Alex, they make it much longer than Grant, but more than a week, and none of them even have a 5 o'clock. None of them even have a 5 o'clock shadow. You know, like, or barely have a 5 o'clock shadow, especially like Luke, and he makes it the 30 days. Like, it doesn't have so much as a 5 o'clock shadow, you know? Like, I feel like they would definitely have a little more going on there. So that sort of thing was a little bit like unrealistic, and it was just, and it kind of, if you notice it, it takes you out of the movie a bit. It's like, seriously, like they've been in there for like 25 days and none of these guys can grow a beard, like holy crap. And it was really predictable. Like I said, like as soon as I saw the opening thing, I mean, it's called Hunger. You know the premise of the movie. As soon as the movie opens, they're like, that little kid ate his mom, and then he's a scientist. Oh my God, shocker. So basically at the end, Jordan wins by refusing to eat any of the people in the cave, to kill them, or they have to be dead, obviously, for her to survive, otherwise they're gonna eat her. She smartly locks herself in the room with all the water, so their situation, Anna and Luke's situation, turns desperate very quickly without the water. But then she makes it. She, you know, she's like playing up to the camera a little bit, like, so she writes a note on the, she makes like a little sign, and the scientist can't see it, what it is. She knocks out all the lights and kind of just like hides herself away in there. So eventually it gets too much for the scientist, and he goes down into the cave to figure out what the hell she wrote, if she's dead, that sort of thing, because she's refusing to play his game. She's refusing to break down like he wants her to. And then when he comes down there, she kills him and then makes it out. This is where it got a little bit too ridiculous. Like, the music was just like way too, it was so overly dramatically hopeful. Like, when she makes out, it's like the slowest climb up the ladder. Like, I know she's weak, but it's so slow, and like the sun is like super bright, and she just gets out and she sits next to the well, entrance, and the sun is bright, and it's shining bright, and there's like a chorus, and it's like, oh, la, la. And it's just like, it was just way over dramatic, the ending. I don't know if it's because I watch so many horror movies. Not that horror movies can't have happy endings and they don't have happy endings, because a lot of them do. But I guess it was just so overly dramatic. I just wanted that dialed back a little bit. Or part of me was kind of just like, waiting. I guess I was just waiting for it to be like a lot of horror movies I've seen lately where it's not so hopeful. So I was waiting for like Jordan to die in the cave like immediately after or whatever, even though she ends it by killing the scientist, but then she can't make it because she hasn't eaten for over 30 days. Literally, she's the only one that hasn't eaten anything. She hasn't even eaten a person. So, I mean, I haven't studied up much on really what happens to you when you're starving like that. She kind of relays it, you know, Anna asks her like what happens, like how do you starve to death, like what's the process, and she kind of explains kind of what your body goes through. But I feel like she should have been way weaker and shouldn't have been able to like climb up that ladder and get out of there running on literally nothing. But you know, so I mean, I guess this movie is good for the gore factor for sure. Like, although they really don't even show that much either, like for, you know, it being like a cannibal-esque type movie, I feel like it should have seen a little bit more. So this movie could have redeemed itself with a little more gore. I think I would have had more reason to like watch it or watch it again. So I probably won't watch it again, you know, just a one-time deal, one-time thing. I don't know. Go check out the movie for yourself and see what you think about it if you haven't seen it already. If you have seen it, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. And as always, feel free to leave suggestions for any and everything in the comment section. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you are subscribed already. And until next time, stay strange.